Yo. All right, y'all. So today we're going to flip it a little bit. We're going to talk about how to look at yourself in the mirror, how to recognize one's own faults. Okay? So I'll use myself as the example. Again, I don't have the situation figured out with the phone on the dash yet or whatnot, so I'm still holding it up for you guys. All right. So the first thing I had to do growing up, it was kind of a paradox. One end, I'd say that I was poor little mean, if you've ever been through that, my situation is so unique. Nobody's been through what I've been through, blah, 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 right? On the other hand, there's a situation where I'm always right, so nobody's as intelligent or smart or whatever. I boast myself up. So it's kind of weird because one end is like insecurity and weakness. And I guess you could call the other end weakness too, because a strong man doesn't really, or a strong person, man or woman, doesn't really find strength in being right all the time. You can't really grow without failure. So I won't take too much for you guys, but I'll just kind of go through what I went through. So essentially this year last December is when me and my ex-fiance broke up. And after that, it was about a couple weeks deep. And I was saying, how it's her fault, how she's not doing this, that, and the other. And then it just clicked one day. It was just like, well, what am I doing? And I don't know if you heard the phrase, don't judge somebody else's lawn until your own lawn is, green. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge somebody else's grass for not being as green as it can be when your own lawn's not clean and green itself. So I had to start looking in the mirror. I was like, well, why is it that, we broke up? Why is it that my father and I aren't having the best relationship? Why is it that, my life is where it's at? And, you got to, point the finger, you know what I'm saying? And usually I'm pointing it at somebody else. I'm pointing it at Joe or Billy Bob up the street, but I haven't really pointed it at myself, right? And another good saying too is you point the finger at other people, you got three or several fingers pointing right back at you. So it's like, instead of blaming other people, look yourself in the mirror and figure, well, okay, I'm not perfect. They say there's three sides to every story, or two sides to every story and three when the truth gets told, right? So with that being said, I just had to, take a step back. So step number one is realizing that you could be the problem, okay? That's step one. So you figure, well, let's say, for example, the reason why a lot of my relationships was failing is because I wasn't strong myself. So when they say you need to love yourself before you could be in a relationship with someone else, that is definitely the truth. Because without that, you can still love the other person, but it's kind of an ignorant love. It's kind of it's self-serving in the sense it's filling a void. In my case, it fills a void that wasn't, that's not present by myself. I'm not able to fill it by myself, so I need somebody else to fill that for me. That's a big problem. So I had to work on that. Another thing is just not listening, and I know there's a kind of a stigma going on around the whole fact that guys don't listen and, are insensitive. And there's also a thing too about women not caring about emotion. Let me touch on both of those. The first one is, they kind of feed off of each other. I'll start with the women saying that, or even guys saying that women don't like emotion. Listen, I feel like they do like emotion. They just don't like weakness. Guys, you're supposed to be that rock, right? You're supposed to be that rock that when she storms and rains, you're stagnant, you're stoic, you're there. You know what I'm saying? You're taking all that. It's not to say you can't ever, a rock sometimes cracks, right? It's not about hiding your emotion. It's about showing your emotion, but you're mastering that emotion. You know, I'm sad, I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm happy, I'm frightened, you know, but I'm not letting that emotion or feeling take over me. I'm not letting it take over my experience with who I'm with. So that's the situation there. Another situation is just talking about it and listening. So on guys, on our part, is just listening to the female. So even you can practice this with regardless if they're male or female, you know what I'm saying? But you know, males, we're more logical. We like to be heard, but at the same time we like a solution. Women primarily want to be heard, okay? And that's just listening, you know what I'm saying? You're just empathizing with their emotion. Let's say, you know, somebody pushed a card into them. It's not about like, how do I avoid it next time? It's just they want to feel like, damn, that is frustrating that somebody pushed the card into me. You know, so that's kind of that. But that's, you know, I don't want to spread on too many different topics, but that's step, you know, kind of step 2 is, you know, why my relationship faltered on that was because, you know, I didn't own my own emotions. I didn't love myself, and I couldn't master my emotions. I think I said that already, but that's the primary point I want to bring to you guys today is, you know, you got to work on it, and I'm still working on it myself. You just can't judge other people and talk bad about other people if you still have problems yourself. That's the biggest thing, you know, and I'm not perfect. I still do it sometimes as well, but what I'm trying to practice is, you know, as soon as I hear that, it's either I'm quiet or I'll say it out loud. You know, we're all human, you know, I don't know the situation, I'm not going to say anything, or, you know, until my own grass is green, I'm not going to say anything about that. So that's primarily the thing, man. So I'd say, you know, start just looking at yourself. It's a day-by-day process. You know, it's gonna be hard. Even driving, road rage, I'm horrible at, you know, but a lot of the time it's my fault. You know, granted, you know, people driving in the fast lane, passing lane, it's frustrating, you know, not being able to move around them, but that doesn't give me an excuse either to swerve through these lanes and endangering other people's lives because I got one idiot in front of me that won't get over when they're supposed to. That doesn't give me the excuse to start wilding out, you know what I'm saying? And I could easily flip that into, well, I weave in and out because I have to. I don't have to. I do it because I'm inconvenienced, but that's still not fair and that's selfish, right? So that's the thought process I've been hammering home on that, and I encourage you to do the same. And I know people were like, well, practice what you preach. This is me practicing what I preach. When I grew up, I used to give a lot of advice to people and never even take it, you know. So I mean, this isn't perfect. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like from my last video, I don't ever want you guys to feel like I'm just your leader and you're following me. It's just we're all trying to figure it out together, okay? So yes, I'm not fully mastered what I'm preaching right now, but I'm never gonna master it. There's gonna be areas where I can improve on or make better. Same with you, you know. So that's the big thing, is I just want to improve with you and you improve with me. But I'm just gonna throw different topics out there, you know. It's gonna be, a lot of it will be relationship based because I've messed up on a lot of them, and I feel like I got some good advice for you on that. But also self-development and self-improvement as well. I'm not going to talk about the addiction too much because that's something I really do feel like you have to have in check before you could get advice on it, and I'm still not in check on that. So you won't hear too much about that. I'm still taking it day by day. I messed up a couple days ago, but, you know, I just got to take it a little more serious. I got to realize that I never will have this addiction pinned down, and it's going to take everything I have, you know, to get it going. It's going to take my belief, my own belief in God. It's going to take belief in myself. It's going to take me working out. It's going to take me eating right. It's going to take me writing. It's going to take me having positive influences to do this stuff instead of negative. So that's the primary thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. It's Tuesday. I want to try to upload Saturdays too, but I'm trying to work that out. But guaranteed, at least I'm gonna try to get a video to you guys every Tuesday with a good topic of mine to talk to you guys about. You know, like I said, the organization might be a little off for now, but again, at least I'm making a video, at least I'm putting it up there. And again, you know, as long as I could reach one, teach one, right, you know. So yeah, man, thanks for y'all tuning in again, you know, or one person or if anybody. But I'll catch you guys next time.